Welcome back to Y&R For Life, where we talk about all things Y&R related. We talk about what's going on, my predictions, what I think's gonna happen. Hey, we even talk about fashion on the show because I'm a big time fashion girl, so we gotta spill the tea about that from time to time. If you're new to this channel, my question is, what took you so long to get here? And if you are returning, what's up? Long time no see. Well, I'm wearing the purple robe, which means that it was juicy. Now, I don't know if it was fully juicy, but there was some juicy moments in my opinion. So I thought, haven't had a chance to break it out in a while, so I decided, let me break out the purple robe because there was some juicy stuff here and there. Okay, we're going to get through a couple of disclaimers first. If you don't want to know what's going on, you kind of want to get caught up on your own, this might not be what you want to see or hear, but I am so grateful that you are here. And if I happen to not mention something, it could be I plumb forgot or it just really wasn't newsworthy. So I didn't bother mentioning it. It is what it is, nature of the beast. That's what I like to say. And if you like this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, it would be so great if you hit that like and subscribe button and smash that bell notification so that you don't miss a single video that I post here on Y&R For Life. Kind of try and do it on Sundays, to end out the week. But, sometimes life happens and sometimes it's not possible. But I'll catch you up. All right, so it was a full week. A full week of craziness, some laughable moments. I don't know if there was too many scene fillers, but we're going to get into it. All right, so we're going to talk about Daniel and Lily. Beginning of the week, Daniel meets up with Lily at Chancellor Winter's. She's like, oh, hi, what are you doing here, kind of thing. And Daniel is making his plea again in order to keep Princess Luiza. He's not looking for all of a megasphere. He just wants, the character, if you will, Princess Luiza, because it's about, little fast and fresh Lucy. And yeah, he wants to keep that. And he's hoping that Lily has a change of heart in order to make this possible. Well, Lily at first was like, I don't know what you're not getting here. You don't own anything. Like, hello. Well, Daniel is trying to appeal to Lily's kinder side, which, I'll be honest, Lily barks a lot, but she has this way where after she's barked and bitten and whatever, then she's like realizes maybe that wasn't such a good idea. She doesn't really stand her ground. So once again, she's kind of all bark, but whatever. So by the end of the conversation, Daniel's like, you look a little like almost like frazzled. He didn't use the word frazzled, but like if something's bothering you. And he's like, do you want to talk about it? She's like, with you? He's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, I'm here to talk. Daniel, not gonna happen. You have burned the bridge where she's concerned. However, Lily's like, look, I'll take it to the board and, we'll discuss this. He's like, thank you for at least hearing me out, that kind of thing. Prediction, she's just gonna be like, take it and go. Just take it and go. because you'll hear like later on what's happening, but she's just, yeah, take it and go. I just believe this. Okay, so yeah, Daniel left, and that was pretty much Lily kind of like tail between her legs, trying to figure out, what should I do. Let me warn you, there was a lot of back and forth that happened, so I may jump from one character back to the next character. We'll see. Um, hmm. So basically, Billy Boy Abbott, he's off. He is on a jet plane to wherever the Chancellor Winter's overseas businesses are, or whatever, and he's schmoozing. So he basically says that he pretty much will be unreachable because he's off, trying to build a rapport with these people. Well, that doesn't sit well with Lily or Devon, and they are having a straight conniption. Anyway, yeah, that's not going over well. So within this week, it was like a whole big smorgasbord of how do we get rid of Billy and Jill. Well, at some point in time, this was at the beginning of the week, let's take it back. Jill ends up telling Lily, yeah, whatever Billy told you about me giving him like the full autonomy and handing over my quote unquote power, that's totally factual. And I did this so that you guys can kind of get along and, treat him fairly because he'll now have the same, I guess we'll use power again, that I had. And I'm not going anywhere per se. I'll still be like providing guidance and direction and whatever. But let me give it to Billy. And hopefully this will kibosh all this infighting. Newsflash, Jill. Crap's about to go down, and it's not going to help one iota. And throughout the episodes, they basically tell you this ain't going to help. So I don't know. Okay. So at one point in time, Devon is with Abby at the park. Little Dominic, he's allegedly playing on some monkey bars. We ain't gonna see little Dominic until he is like probably 16 at this point. I don't know. They're gonna sore ass him, and that's just what's gonna happen because we haven't seen him, little Harrison, change drastically. Although I like this one, his personality. He's got some chutzpah, some personality. We haven't seen Christian. Oh, we haven't seen any of these people. Side note, I even forgot that Victoria had a son with JT Reed. I totally forgot about him. I was like, wait a minute. Because Claire's the golden child now, and she'll drop in Johnny and Katie, which we haven't seen them either. And that was like, isn't there another kid? Oh, Reed, he's still strumming on a guitar somewhere. Whatever. Okay, I know I sidetracked, but I thought it was funny. So little Dominic, is, on the monkey bar somewhere. They're at Chancellor Park. And yeah, Devon basically tells Abby, yes, whatever is, this is what Billy said. And Abby's like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, I gotta do my best to basically play damage control. So she's like, oh, geez, Devon, this is not like you. That's not your nature. Like, slow your roll, calm down, this kind of thing. Just then, I guess Lily sends, I think she called him. And she basically says, hey, I just spoke to Jill. This is what she said. It's true. You need to come over here. Well, Devon's like, I got something to do before I get to the office. She's like, well, hurry. Time's a wasting. We can't sit on this. Whatever. So Devon makes his way to the club, and he ends up bumping into Audra and Tucker. I don't know if this robe is about juicy or just straight laughable stuff. I don't know. So he bumps into those two. And side note, Audra's dress I liked it. It hit her in all the right places. Probably made her look a little shorter. However, I loved the color. I loved the cut. I even loved the little, ties on the sleeve. It was a really nice dress. Simple, but nice. Anyway, so Devon's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? So Tucker's like, oh, okay. So Audra chimes in with, what? What do you gotta say to Tucker now? Like, what are you gonna say something to him? And then, like, she just went off, and the one's like, I'm sorry, is he your father? But I'm just so tired of you, like, coming in and coming out, and you're breaking Tucker's heart. And Audra, zip it. Because Devon comes with his he has no emotion. And he comes with his little 2-cent comments. Oh, yeah. Is that your father? And she's like, okay, fine. I'll give you guys some space. Okay, thanks. So she toddles off. Because they are now allegedly going to Paris. Finally. Dum, dum, dum. So Tucker and Devon go and sit down on the couch. And basically, Devon wants to know what Tucker's plan was with Aunt Meme from the beginning in order to try and get Jill out of the company. Tucker basically came down with I really can't help you. That's old news. And we really didn't have a plan. So Devon's like, oh, great. You're useless to me at this point in time. But Tucker wants to help. And he wants to basically prove himself that he's a changed man. And no better person to prove this to than his son, who doesn't really give him the time of day. Oh. So Devon basically is like, okay, well, what you got? He's like, basically, I can do the dirty work and keep your hands clean and get Billy Boy out of the company. And, again, you're clean. And Devon's like, this just seems a little too messy, and I don't want you to, like, make my life more difficult. And, yeah, it's a no for me. And he's like, well, just wait. And yeah, no, no. Tucker, Devon is not, I don't know. Maybe Devon might cave, but out of desperation, maybe. But I have my theory on this whole Chancellor Winters story, and it's a coming, I will tell you. Okay, so let's go up to Disappointment Street, where Tucker meets Audra in her room, basically telling her, Devon said he'd be willing to give me another chance. What? There was like at least 2 or 3 different moments throughout this week where somebody allegedly said something, and I'm like, I don't remember hearing that at all. So Devon's willing to give me another chance. That's what he said. Broken telephone much? So she's like, wait a minute. Are you blowing me off again? Again? So this is why I said, dum, dum, dum. It is now time number 2 that Tucker kiboshed their trip to Paris. Oh, she's like, look, the first time it was with Ashley, you wanted to save her, and now Devon, like, this is ridiculous. You don't care about me. You don't care about us. And he's like, look, like, I know this couldn't come at a worse time, but this is my son. If he's my family, him and Dominic are the only family I have. Well, there it is, right there. I'm not family. Cue the waterworks, in my opinion. Okay, first of all, Tucker asked you to marry him, gave you a ring, you refused to wear it. Why? Because I don't feel you're committed as much as you claim you are to Tucker. Just my opinion, just saying. So don't cry now because he wants to work it out with his son. It poor timing, yes, but the opportunity is there. Well, she just lost her noodle and she was like, I am done. I am done, done, done. Have we not heard this before? Next thing you know, they end up in the bed. However, we all know what's going to end up happening because later in this episode, you will hear. Okay. So she leaves and she is over Tucker McCall. She's done. And he's like, but Audra, wait. Yeah, she gone. She out. Nothing else to say about that. Audra, you had to have known. Like, are you that daft? Okay, prior to this, Sally had made it into Audra's room because she wanted to discuss her whole situation with her design company and the fact that she wants to segue back into fashion with Chloe because that's their first love. Audra gave her words of wisdom, which quite frankly, I actually really enjoyed the conversation between the two of them. I thought it was very motivational. Just saying. Audra, thank you very much for your speech. You even helped me. Like, on a real level. Like, bravo. Bravo. So she basically says to Sally, follow your heart and do what you think is necessary. And yeah, just go for it. So I truly believe Sally will end up going back into the fashion industry where I think that's where she's meant to be, and all's well with the world. So if anything, that was maybe a trifle bit of a scene filler. All right. Who should we talk about next? Or do we finish off with Audra? Let's finish off with Audra. Okay, so she basically agrees to go out to dinner with Nathaniel. And Audra ends up dressing to the nines in this black sheath dress with a split up to here. Well, not quite here, but you know what I mean. It was thigh high. I didn't quite care for the dress, but it was okay. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a slippery 7. Just saying. I think they could have done a bit better. Something was missing. Maybe it was the accessories. I don't know. Just something was missing. Just saying. Well, Nate ends up meeting Audra, and he is like Roger Rabbit with his eyes just bring. And he's like, oh. And I'm skipping over a bunch of stuff here where this is concerned, because really all you need to know is that they end up at society allegedly as friends, but they're on a date. They're on a date. They're on a date. Tucker ends up coming out, and I just feel like a song is playing in the background in Tucker's brain. Something like, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrows. I'm just saying, he just looked so down and depressed and bedraggled. I was just like, really, Tucker? Get yourself together. So he sees the two of them at the table. He asserts himself, saying, Audra, can I speak to you for a few minutes alone? And she's like, look, I said whatever that needed to be said. I'm over it. Like, I'm busy. Can't you see I'm busy? Like, leave. And Tucker was like, yeah, he was almost relentless. He wanted to have this conversation with her. Well, basically, Nate and Audra, they leave, go back to the club. Audra invites him upstairs after apologizing for Tucker's behavior, and their time was cut short. And they end up having a nightcap in her room. Some bottle of liquor that was very expensive that she was going to throw down the drain, because just to tick Tucker off. I don't think Tucker would even have remembered it personally, but that's just me. So Audra and Nate are both having this little drinky drink, and yeah, rap on the door. Audra says to Nate, you do the honors. He gets up, answers the door. Tucker's at the door. And again, he looks like he has lost his best friend. So he wants to talk to her. And basically Nate is like, look, whatever was with the two of you, it's over. She's done. Move on with whatever little dignity you have left and just leave her alone. Door closes. Tucker's behind the door. Well, here's the thing. Audra is so loosey-goosey. She will sleep with anything that just breezes past her. And Nate will pretty much do the same. So, in my head, my prediction is, look out for this week coming. The two of them are going to be hot and heavy on the hotel bed. Just saying. You could see it coming. And if you don't see it coming, I don't know. He ain't gonna, what? He's not gonna say no. And once again, she's loosey goosey. She will pounce on him. Okay, well, half a step back, Tucker had a conversation with Sally about Audra, and Sally was like, "I'm not going to betray my friend's trust." I don't know when the two of them became such good besties. I mean, I know that they sat down when they first sat down and had drinks and convo, but now they're like straight up besties. That's weird. So, uh, so basically, Sally tells Tucker, "Look, I don't think that all hope is lost for you and Audra. However, if you want to be with her, basically you're gonna have to shape up real quick." So again, that's when you see Tucker, further on where he's like, "Oh, Tucker, you have quite the decision here. Just saying." All right. Okay, let's breeze over Ashley. Now here's my thing with whichever Ashley it is. I almost forgot that Ashley wants to off Tucker because they've been so focused on all these little alter egos that I forgot that the plan was to bump off Tucker. So when this came back around, I was like, wait a minute. I forgot about that. You see? Out of sight, out of mind. So yeah, Ashley is throwing herself at the good old Dr. Allen, and then she ends up shooing him away, and then she comes back and, oh, my mistake, because her alter egos are changing left, right, and center. She's like having full-blown conversations with herself. Even Tracy was like, who are you talking to? Myself? Is that a crime? Well, no. I'm just making conversation. And if I hear the word psychoanalyzing one more time, I am going to lose my noodle. Before it was, what was it? Gaslighting. And now it's psychoanalyzing. Regurgitation at its finest. Enough already. So Ashley, whichever one, Southern Belle, new Ashley, floral dress Ashley, whatever, she still has her sights set on the good old doctor, and she tries to even accost the doctor at Chancellor Park about how she, from the time she saw him, that he came into Genoa City, that she wanted to kiss him, and just a mess. Okay. There's not much I can say about Ashley. All I'm going to say is we'll see what's going to happen with her if they show her next week. Okay? All right. We're going to talk briefly about the scene filler with Phyllis and Nick. Basically, what you need to know is that Phyllis gives Tucker information, like intel, as to what went on at Chancellor Winters concerning Daniel and how Billy is all off, yonder, and he's got all this power. And Devon walks in. This is like Crimson Lights. Devon walks in. Tucker approaches Devon and basically is like, "Oh, so I hear Billy's away and he's got all this power and whatnot." So Devon's like, so he's looking at Phyllis. Phyllis is unbothered. And basically, he approaches Phyllis and he's like, "So, what's this? You're giving out company information, and you basically went against your non-disclosure." And she's like, "Yeah, you wrongfully dismissed my son, and yeah, I gave out the information. And before you have to fire me, I quit." He's like, "Oh, great. Saves me the trouble." So now she is jobless again. And in my opinion, when have you seen her working? When have you seen any of these guys working? Just saying. So, yeah. She gone, but she wants to stick it to them. Not happening. So basically, Nick learns of what's going on, and yeah, he's like, no, not good. So he basically tells her, like, what are the kids gonna say when mommy's arrested and whatnot. And she's like, "Why do you do this? You always do this. It makes sense. Like, why?" Okay, I don't want... I liked them together in the past, but I just don't feel they have the kind of chemistry that they used to have years ago. Just saying. I still want him to get with Lily, but if he does, it will be very short-lived. Will he end up with Phyllis? Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so that was a scene filler where he basically catches Phyllis in the act of, in theory, she was either going to try and plant a bug or get some sort of information. Why she still had access to her password in order to get in, I will never know. But she did. But Nick talked her out of it. Okay. I think we'll just finish off with the Newman clan minus Adam, of course, because we've been minusing him for a couple of weeks. He's almost like irrelevant on a lot of levels. Just saying. So now it's Claire, Cole, side play to Nick, Summer. See, I almost forgot her name. And Kyle. It is a holy mess. Okay? Okay. Let's just bring it in. All right. So Claire, she ends up at Crimson Lights wanting to order something. Kyle bumps into her, says, to Esther, I'll have what she's having. They have some boring drip coffee as per Esther, but okay. And they talk, and basically Kyle's like, how would you like to be Harrison's nanny? Oh, that would be great, but Summer has to be on board. And he's like, well, I get it, whatnot. At some point in time, Kyle is with Summer because Bill Harrison had a bad nightmare, and he wanted to know if Claire was okay, and he wanted Claire to come over. Summer kiboshed that one, and basically Kyle decided to be like, oh, okay, Well, hey, buddy, how about Claire be your nanny? Summer was with this look of horror because he mentioned her name, but he's also offering a job against whatever Summer would normally say. So that didn't fare well. So eventually Claire gets the formal, invitation to be his nanny. She's like, "Oh, great. When do I start?" He's like, "Is tomorrow good?" "Yeah, tomorrow's great." "Well, if that doesn't work, we can come up with something else." "No, no, 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 that's fine." And yeah, she's like, "I can't believe Summer changed her mind." Yeah, about that. She never really changed her mind. And yeah, so Claire's like, "Well, sorry, can't accept it," that kind of thing. So she ends up pretty much at the ending of the week, goes over to Summer's room, which, why is Summer living in a hotel room? I don't get it. And Claire's like, "Look, um, I was offered to be Harrison's nanny, but I said no because of you." Well, Summer had said, "If we're going to have this conversation, I'm going to need a drink." So they end up at the jazz lounge having drinks. Okay, you don't like your cousin, but you're going to have drinks with her? Okay, then. So yeah, she's like, "I still don't trust you, Claire. You tried to kill 5 of my family members, which included my dad, my grandpa, whatever. And yeah, I don't trust you. Sorry." And she's like, "Yeah, I get it." And yeah, Summer is like, mm, "Well, I don't know. I still think she's going to end up being the nanny, but that's just me." Okay, moving on to, sorry, this would have been a scene filler as well. The fact that Diane was supposed to do some deal at the Jazz Lounge with I don't know if there was an overseas client, but that didn't happen because Kyle came in the mix and he, you know, hornswoggled his way in and did the deal unbeknownst to Diane. Diane eventually finds out about it and she is blue angry. She goes over to the house and confronts him and he's like, "Meh, whatever, I was basically doing you a solid. And yeah, you could take credit for it when it comes up." And yeah. Uh, Diane was getting ready to, like, I don't know if she was getting ready to knock some sense into the boy, but yeah, she was not having it and she just went off. Again, Rocky Balboa, guns a blazing, boom, boom, boom. And he's still going underneath her. But whatever. I digress. Let's get to the juicy part. Okay, so Victor is still going to see Jordan in this basement wine cellar thingamabobber with the leather chair and the itty bitty table. I don't know. Jordan is, again, with all the alcohol, I'm surprised she's not in a drunken stupor, but she is completely lucid once again. Well, Victor's like, "I don't know what to tell you. You ain't getting out of here. Not so easy." And yeah, it's not happening. Well, at some point in time, this is back before Victor's great disappearance, and Cole was over there because he just had a conversation with Nick about the fact that something doesn't seem right here. Why would your father not be having all of his security comb the waters where Jordan allegedly plummeted to her death, and he just seems unbothered by it. Like, he's good with just the information. That's not Victor. Something just seems weird. Anyway, Nicholas is like, yeah, but my father is hiding something like 99% of the time, so I don't know what to tell you. Well, Cole he needs like an investigator's hat of some sort, because he is like Inspector Gadget. He's figuring things out. Anyway, so at one point in time, Cole's up there. Claire comes in. Cole wanted to offer her riding lessons, and Victor was like, that's great. And then Victor invites them to stay for dinner. He's like, the chef is serving up like prime roast or prime rib or whatever, and Brussels sprouts. And Claire's like, I've never had a Brussels sprout before. Oh, really? No, Jordan hated them, you know. The sight of them like repulsed her and whatnot. Well, you knew what was going to happen. So Victor ends up taking a whole big tray, you know, with the silver covered lid, and he takes it and he's like, bon appetit, here you go. And she's like, oh, no, oh. So Victor's like, Brussels sprouts. Phew. And he spits it at her. Now, somebody I said, well, that was a little cruel. And I was just like, that's Victor. You know, would you expect anything less? Just saying. So we leave Jordan there with her big plate of Brussels sprouts, losing her mind in her little makeshift jail cell. And yeah. Oh boy, I tell you, this show just cracks me right on up. You see why I'm wearing the purple robe? Because of all the things, Brussels sprouts. What did Brussels sprouts ever do? I know it's an acquired taste, but what did Brussels sprouts ever do to you? So yeah, that was pretty much the week. I don't know if I missed anything. Again, if I did, it's the nature of the beast. It is what it is. But you get the gist of what was going on. It was just a whole set of nonsense, as usual. Like, nothing to see here, folks. It's the same stuff, same characters, just a different week of straight up shenanigans. So if you made it to the end of this video, I am so grateful. You know I love you lots and I appreciate your time. Again, I laugh at my own self. It is all for the love of the show. And I look forward to another video where we can see what kind of craziness is going to ensue. So once again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and hit the bell notification. And I will catch you on the next video. Bye.